Hello! Welcome to Serva English. I'm Sherlyn Rumaini. Today we are going to discuss about the short story The Girl with a Ball on Her Head. The Girl with a Ball on Her Head. A beautiful girl was born into a poor family. She lives in solitude with her parents because they worried too much about people. Her parents were also too worried about their daughter. One day, her parents wanted her to find work in the city of Kyoto. Her mother told her to take a ball on her head and promised never to take off the ball until she married an honest man. She accepted and promised that with a heavy heart. After that, she walked into the wood with a ball on her head. One of the fairy children gave magic that made a ball stick on her head, but a poor girl didn't realize it. She finally arrived in the fair city of Kyoto, and people were confused to see her. Then she arrived at a big farmhouse to ask for a job, but none of them would accept the girl. When she felt tired, she sat down on the grass and cried. A storyteller came and asked the girl why she was crying. And the girl answered honestly and desperately. The storyteller went to the rich farmer's house, read a tale, and asked the master of the house to give the girl a job. He agreed and did not mind the girl with a wooden ball. At midnight, on the New Year's Eve, the oldest son went to the kitchen to look for steak. And he found a girl with a wooden ball on her head. Since then, he was interested and curious about the girl. Then he asked the girl to marry him, but the girl kept refusing. Until one day, the girl finally accepted his proposal after having a dream that her mother agreed for her to marry the man. When they had officially become husband and wife, suddenly a wooden ball on the girl's head was broken, and rain of silvers, golds, pearls, rubbish, and emeralds fell onto the floor. The oldest man was amazed to see the beauty of his wife. Next, I will tell you what the story structure of this short story. The short story, The Girl with a Ball on Her Head, has 5 parts of story structure. The first structure is exposition. Exposition introduces the setting, characters, and background. The exposition part of the story is a beautiful girl who was shy and beautiful. The girl's parents were both natural-born warriors. The second is rising action. Rising action is the sequence of events that build tendencies. The rising action part of the story starts from the girl's parents talked to each other and agreed that their daughter's beauty would bring bad things. One day, her parents told her to find work in the city. Then her mother took and placed a large wooden rice bowl on her head as a solution. The third is climax. The climax is the most intense or crucial point in the story. The climax part in the story is the girl hesitated and tried to refuse her mother's request to use the wooden bowl. Finally, she accepted her mother's request with a heavy heart. One of the fairy children that was naughty gave a magic that made the bowl stick. The people in Kyoto wondered about her looks and did not want to accept her for work. She was desperate and cried on a grassy bank. The fourth is falling action. Falling action is events that lead toward the resolution. The falling action section starts from the storyteller so asked her why she was crying. The storyteller came into the wealthy farmer and asked the master of the house to give the girl a job. The master agreed with that and gave her a job. The girl enjoyed working. The son saw the girl in the kitchen and was attracted to her. The girl always refused when the son asked her to marry him. The last is resolution. Resolution is the conclusion where conflicts are resolved. The resolution part in the story is after having a dream that her mother told her to marry him, she agreed to the proposal of him. When the girl and the son of the master of the farmer's house officially became husband and wife, suddenly a wooden bowl on her head broke and various jewels fell to the floor. Her husband was very amazed with the beauty of her face and eyes. Key vocabularies. There are some vocabularies that you might difficult to understand. The first is nasty. In the sentence, it's far more critical to watch where you are putting your feet or else you might trip or step in something nasty. Nasty is an unpleasant or harmful person or thing. We can use this word in another sentence. For example, before I go to the city, I will face various people, including nasty. The second is ditty. In the sentence, no, if I say so myself, isn't that a fine ditty I just made up? Exclaimed the storyteller. Ditty is a short, simple song. We can use this word in another sentence. For example, Selena enjoys to listen a music pop ditty. The third is stuttered. In the sentence, but stuttered the father. We can't send our little girl out into the world. The meaning of the word stuttered is talk with continued involuntary repetition of sounds, especially initial consonants. We can use this word in the sentence, Jack stuttered when he read poetry in front of the stage. The fourth is poverty. In the sentence, one day the mother woke up to the sad truth of their poverty. The meaning of the word poverty is the state of being extremely poor. We can use this word in the sentence: Jessica and her family have been poverty for several years. Inferences and conclusion. There are two inferences that we can find in the text. Inference 1. The textual evidence in the text is: no, let's have some fun with this girl. We can make the ball stick on her head so it won't come off at all, said a bad fairy with the cruel laugh. Based on the textual evidence above, we can infer that the character named a bad fairy was naughty, because she made the ball of the girl stick on her head. A bad fairy also laughed with a cruel laugh when saw it. The inference 2. The textual evidence in the text is: we might well, said the wealthy farmer. We need really young people to collect the harvest, with or without balls on their heads. Based on the textual evidence above, we can infer that the character named the master of the house was a good-hearted and tolerant. It was because he didn't matter how the girl looks. He also won't allow her to work in his field. In short, those inferences make we easy to identify the characters and the story atmosphere of events. The message from this story is: we should not judge someone only by their looks, because behavior and attitude are the most important. I suggest you to read this story because this story can be read and understood by all ages, both young and adult. This story is also very interesting because using a wooden ball is something that not many people think of. Besides that, this story also has a romantic nuance between the girl and the oldest son of the master of the farmer family. In addition, this story has easy to understand vocabulary and is liked to read. To better understand this story, you can visualize it in your mind. While reading, you can visualize it in your mind to better understand the story, or you can make a mind mapping or outlining. Mapping usually uses diagrams to show relationships between concepts or ideas. Outlining uses a format with main points and sub-points. Other writers can follow suit and learn from this story. They should be able to create a liked, interesting, and unique story so that it can be easily understood by readers and can be read by all groups. Thank you.